which is 12:30. I have a neat whiskey and I'm wearing a tartan skirt. It can only mean one thing. We are celebrating some traditional Scottish traditions. Hello everyone, my name's Claire and welcome to my kitchen. Today I have set myself a big challenge because I don't like to make life easy for myself. I'm going to cook a 3-course meal. It's going to be set out into 3 different videos, so you can say this is a mini-series. It's my first ever mini-series. So I'm going to cook a 3-course meal, I'm going to drink lots of whiskey, which I don't even really like that much, and I'm going to wear some Scottish tartan. So what all this means is that I'm celebrating some true Scottish tradition, Burns Night. Now I've actually been to a few Burns Nights myself, albeit as catering staff, not as a guest, and it's always seemed like a lot of fun. So I'm going to have my own Burns Night celebration today in the middle of the day, in my kitchen on my own. I'm really sorry, I'm going to offend some Scots. Much better. Please don't hate me. So as this is the first in the series, we're going to start at the beginning with the starter and the origins of Burns Night as well. So for our starter we actually had 2 options. One is cock-a-leekie soup, which is basically just chicken and leek, and the other one is, got a bit of a weird name, called the Cullen Skink. Essentially a haddock and potato soup. I was originally going to do an actual true Cullen Skink traditional recipe, and then I found this recipe on BBC Good Food. It looked really delicious because I love sweet corn in everything I eat. So let's go and see which ingredients we're going to need. So first up we have half a chopped onion. This is actually a full onion, I got a bit carried away. We're going to need half an onion chopped up. Also we have 2 white potatoes roughly chopped into cubes, some smoked haddock fillets as well, and we're going to need around 250 grams of this, but I'm probably going to use a bit less because haddock is expensive and I'm cheap. Then it says some sweet corn cobs with the kernels cut off, but well, isn't that just what these are? So I'm just going to put in a few handfuls of some lovely frozen sweet corn because again, I'm a cheapskate. We've also got some lovely double cream. We're going to need about 2.5 tablespoons of this stuff. Yum. Some vegetable stock and some parsley. I don't know what the difference is between curled and normal parsley, but we have the curled parsley. Yeah, we're going to have some of that in it also chopped. So these are all our ingredients and I think it's time to get cooking. Let's go! I actually forgot one of the ingredients and I've just realised. We need some butter. So first up we're going to melt some butter in a large saucepan. I'm just going to take a knob of butter, which is still my favourite word for measuring something. I haven't even got my pan ready. Okay. So I have my large saucepan. I'm going to put it on our terrible hob that barely even works. And gently melt the butter in the pan. Once it's nicely melted, it's time to add the onion and also the potato. So we're just going to fry this around 2 to 3 minutes until it's all nice and soft. And this is the point I've now realised. I've forgotten the bacon. So now that's getting softer, I'm just going to go 2 rashers of bacon and we're going to just chop that up roughly into this as well. And I'm literally just hacking away at this. I'm not cutting it in any particular way. It's definitely not going to be pretty, but I mean it's going to become soup, so does it need to be pretty? I don't think so. Whilst that is simmering away, we're just going to make some stock. So I have my kettle. Just going to take the stock cube, crumble it in or break it up and put it in here. And then we're going to pour about 3/4 of a pint of water in here. Pretty much just follow the directions on your package of stock cube. Once your stock is made, pour it into the pan with everything else. and we're going to let it all simmer for about 8 minutes. Meanwhile, let's all learn about where Burns Night really started. So Burns Night is actually named after a famous poet and bard of Scotland named Robert Burns. He's actually now widely considered as the national poet of Scotland. In fact, the Scots love Burns so much that in a poll open to the public in 2009, he was voted as the greatest Scot, even beating William Wallace, otherwise known as Braveheart. Like many artists though, his work wasn't actually truly recognised until after his death in 1791. 5 years later, a group of his friends got together and had the world's very first Burns Night. Their celebrations of his life soon caught on, and now it's been a tradition going for over 200 years. And judging by old manuscripts of the original events, today's celebrations are very similar to those first celebrations as well, which is not really something you can say for a lot of celebrations. Burns Night is now celebrated on the 25th of June, which happens to be Burns' birthday. Happy birthday, Burns! Now let's get back to the soup. Looking really good, so it's time to add the next ingredients. We're going to add the sweet corn, which is about 2 cobs worth, so I'm just going to do 2 handfuls. That sounds about right. Right? Can I just take this moment to say, what the is this for? I know you want us to see the lovely fish we're buying, but what is this big waste of space? This is the kind of thing that really angers me, because I try not to buy as much plastic as possible, and then look at this. There's more plastic than fish. Not impressed. Then we're going to add the fish, which has been chopped up into bite-sized pieces, no skin, no bones. Just chuck that in there. I just used 1 fillet. Then we add about 2.5 tablespoons of cream, which I'm turning into 3. This seems really runny for double cream. What is this? Still tastes good though. And we're just going to stir that all in together. Let it simmer for a bit longer so that fish cooks. A couple of minutes will do. Fish doesn't need that long. Final thing we're going to do is grab that chopped parsley and just get stuck to your hands and just stir that through. And there we go, that's some Cullen Skink. So now let's just dish it up and see what it tastes like, as well as looking at how you start a Burns evening event. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Before we go to eating the soup, let's figure out the order of the night, because there is a very specific order to everything. So first you have to be welcomed in by the bagpiper. If there aren't any bagpipers available though, you can just have some nice Scottish music in the background. You're also then greeted by the host. Then the host introduces the guests to each other and soup is served. But before we start eating, we have to say the Saltkirk Grace, which is often attributed to Robert Burns, but it might be just that he read it out at one of Lord Saltkirk's meals. So we're not quite sure where it came from, but now everyone associates it with Robert Burns. Some ha meat and cannot eat, and some would eat that want it. But we ha meat and we can eat, and say the Lord be thanked. So let's try our soup. Oh, it smells amazing. Oh my god. The Scots know what they're doing. Like, seriously, this has to be one of the most delicious soups I've ever eaten. And I like soup quite a lot. Oh, oh. I'm getting too eager now, I'm just shoving it in my mouth. I did say in the recipe to add salt and pepper to taste, but I do not need any salt and pepper in here. This is just perfect for me. It's got a real, like, depth of flavour in it, because there's so many ingredients and there's the creaminess that brings it all together. Oh, I don't know. I wish I could describe to you how good this is. It's in the top 10 of favourite things I've put in my mouth. Hang on, let me find out where this came from, because Cullen Skink actually came from just one place. Well, it seems like not many people know. It's a very old recipe, came from the fishing towns of Scotland where there's lots of haddock. Oh, they think the skink comes from the Gaelic word of essence. There is a town up there called Cullen, so maybe from there, but some people think it comes from, oh yeah, from the town of Cullen in Moray. I think this course has been a gigantic success, and if I ever do have Burns Night celebrations, I'm totally making this for all my guests. But it is now time to move on to the main course, the haggis, neeps and tatties. So do join me next time in our next video, part 2 of our Burns Night mini-series, and we'll be making the classic haggis, neeps and tatties and learning a bit more about the evening. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. And seriously, make this. This is bloody delicious. No, it's out of battery. What do I do? To celebrate Robert Burns, who is 20% off. I'm celebrating a traditional Scottish tradition